And just like that, 2026 is here. Happy New Year, everybody. Hopefully you've all set some goals for 2026. If not, I highly recommend doing so when you're finished with this video. So one of the smartest things a dumb person can do is learn from the mistakes of others and avoid making those same mistakes themselves. And one of the dumbest things a smart person can do is to fail to learn from the mistakes of others and make those very same mistakes themselves. In 2025, Tesla provided many examples of both dumb people doing smart things and smart people doing dumb things. So given the fact that Tesla stock tends to be extremely volatile, at least over the short and medium term, I thought it might be worth starting the year off with some insights and some wisdom from one of the investing goats, Peter Lynch. As we watch these clips, you might find yourself thinking, he could almost be talking about Tesla stock or Tesla investors right now.
In the stock market, the most important organ is the stomach. It's not the brain. There's always, on the way to work, the amount of bad news you can hear is almost infinite now. So the question is, can you take that? I mean, it's a question, what's your tolerance for pain?
This is important stuff. I've said before, not to antagonize, but just to be realistic here. Some people simply do not have what it takes to be investors. They don't have the emotional fortitude. They don't have the stomach. They might have the brain, but if they're prone to panic, to be fearful, uncertain, worry, anxious, they can't keep their emotions in check, then their emotions will control them. I call this fear-induced brain damage, a term I coined more than half a decade ago when there was a very large amount of exactly that thing, fear-induced brain damage, gripping the world. By the way, I got receipts, motherfuckers. Go check. When your stomach, your emotions are in control, you turn into a moron. It makes you stupid. And some people simply do not have the ability to keep their fear, their stomach, their emotions in check. People have to recognize this because, as I've said, not everyone is cut out for investing. Some people need to learn this fact about themselves and go, you know what? I have a history of being brain damaged due to fear, uncertainty, doubt, emotions, making bad decisions. Happens once, okay, whatever, maybe learn from it twice. Geez, you're pushing a bro 3 times. Okay, that's it. Over. Take my keys away. I'm a danger to myself and others on the road. I'm not cut out for investing.
The key thing is when the stock goes from 10 to 6, if you understand what they do and you know they're financially solvent, you're fine. If you don't understand it, you can call the psychic hotline. But if you don't understand it, you're probably going to do the wrong thing. You know, if you understand exactly what they're doing, it's gone from 10 to 6, you'll buy more. If you're confused to start with, you'll say, well, there must be something wrong there. And then you're out. And then a lot of times stocks are going to decline. I mean, some of my best stocks have gone from 18 to 8, then to sometimes to 40. And some have gone from 18 to 0. But at least I wasn't adding to it on the way to 0. A lot have gone to 0.
So if it's going down, you're not adding to it? I mean, sometimes you are.
If the fundamentals are getting better or the same.
Yeah.
But if they're deteriorating, I'm going to leave.
Peter Lynch there describing the importance of actually knowing what you own. He describes many times where a stock he owned got cut in half. Rather than panicking, of course, if you know what you own, this doesn't make sense, so I'll continue to hold. Next minute, stock surges and goes flying past all-time highs. Funnily enough, in case you forgot, here's Tesla stock over the past 1 year, currently $450 a share. Early in the year, January into February, and then March, the stock collapsed, halved. Imagine that. By the way, this wasn't the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth time this had happened in Tesla's history as a publicly traded company. Tesla has always been an extremely volatile stock. Tesla investors should expect these kind of declines in the future. Doesn't mean they're guaranteed, but if the stock gets cut in half again one day, no one should be surprised. Now, unfortunately for many people who own Tesla stock, they may not truly have known what they owned. For it is literally in this period where the stock had basically been cut in half and sat there for, let's call it, a month, where folks who didn't really have a long-term model of Tesla, they weren't thinking about Robotaxi, began to panic and sell. Had they just held, they would be up. So we'll look at the 5 year now. So when I say it's not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth time the Tesla stock has got cut in half, I do mean it. Massive declines, massive increases, as we can see on screen now, are par for the course when you own Tesla stock. Mid-July 23 to April 24, stock down about 50%. September 22 to January 23, stock down over 60%, about 70% from April 22 to January 23. I could keep going and going and going. As Peter Lynch said, if you don't understand the business, you're probably going to do the wrong thing. If you don't understand the business you own, you may be prone to believing propaganda. You may discover that panic is contagious. As it relates to Tesla, you may in fact have bought into the Elon bad narrative. Remember this doozy from the king of daycare, Tim Walz, almost perfectly calling the bottom for Tesla stock? This is when domestic terrorists were firebombing Tesla locations, and instead of speaking strongly against this. You had dipshits like Tim Walsh celebrating the stock collapsing. If you didn't know what you owned, you may have seen stuff like this and thought, oh my God, Elon's destroyed Tesla. It's the end of the world. Everyone hates Elon. It's over. Selling the stock in the $200 per share range.
I added Tesla, give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping. So.
What a psycho fuck. But again, if you didn't really know what you owned, you weren't paying attention, you didn't see the progress with FSD, you were listening to the haters, the so-called experts, the doomsayers claiming Tesla would never solve autonomy, they need LiDAR, ignore your own lying eyes where you could see end-to-end drives intervention-free with FSD throughout the United States. You may have actually bought into this and sold. It still boggles the mind, truly. Of all the times for people to have sold Tesla stock, I truly cannot fathom why anyone in their right mind was selling Tesla stock, except in the case of an emergency in the $200 per share range, when we knew just a few months later they intended on launching their Robotaxi service, first in Austin and expanding widely and rapidly from there, which, by the way, they have done. I cannot understand how anybody made that decision, yet many did. More from Peter Lynch.
It's funny, in a stock, all you can lose is 100%. I've done that. But your great mistakes is selling a good company, and then it doubles, then it triples and quadruples, because you make a lot of mistakes. And so it's ones that go up tenfold. I call them the 10 baggers. So some of my mistakes just saying, oh my God, this stock is too high, and I was wrong. And you had to figure out, what inning am I in this baseball game? I sold Toys R Us way too early. It went up 20-fold after I sold. I did the same thing at Home Depot. Those are probably my two greatest mistakes I ever made.
When should you sell?
Well, you ought to find out why you bought a stock. If you're saying it's a cyclical company and they're doing poorly and they're doing awful, you wait till things are getting better and they're doing terrific, and then you sell it. But with a growth company, you have to say, Walmart's case, 10 years after they went public, you could have bought the stock and made 500 times your money. Because they still are only in 15% of the United States. And they could say, why can't they go to 17? Why can't they go to 19? Why can't they go to 23? So for the next 4 decades, they went around the country. So you have to say to yourself, in this stock, I have a 10-year story, a 20-year story. You ought to be able to write that down and follow that. That's what I do with the company.
Man, this is an absolute gold mine. Peter Lynch pointing out biggest mistakes he's made when it comes to investing, selling companies far too early, points out that there were companies that even a decade after IPO, investors could have purchased the stock held and made stupendous returns. A great analogy he used there was trying to determine what inning am I in? E.g., is it still extremely early in this company's long-term growth trajectory or really late in the game? So hypothetically, let's say there's a company that started out building electric vehicles, went on to absolutely dominate, began producing energy products, which are growing at a crazy rate, printing money, and will have near infinite demand for many years to come, but simultaneously spent the better part of a decade building the foundation for a platform, autonomy, that will completely transform the company's financials, entirely change how humans view transportation, and is just about to begin rolling that service out commercially. A project that itself will take the better part of a decade to scale. In addition, they're also developing humanoid robots, which are making great progress, but also, to be fully realized, we're talking a few decades, and not to start, not to print crazy money, but the upper ceiling there. The company themselves, the leader, talking about hundreds of millions, potentially 1 billion humanoid robots per year. If this is what the company's aiming for, maybe today they're in the first inning. So this is something you want to think about. Right toward the end there, he's talking about modeling out the company, thinking about the 10-year story, the 20-year story. This is so important. I have a hunch, a sneaking suspicion, actually, I'm just fucking kidding. I know, unquestionably, no doubt, 1,000% bitches, guaranteed, of all the people who sold Tesla in the $200 range earlier in 2025, none of them, zero, had a 10-year model, let alone 20. Not one. The reason I can say this with such confidence is because you can't possibly have done your best to model out the next decade, 2 decades for Tesla, and then made that truly embarrassing decision. The only possible conclusion then is they didn't actually look at the 10 or 20 year story. They didn't even try. They got swept up in now, next quarter, next month, maybe next year or two, and that's it. I've got a question. I do mean this genuinely. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, because maybe, I live in La La Land, my head's so far up my own arrogant ass that I just can't think clearly. But do you think that there's a single person who, call it April or so, 2025, had owned Tesla for a while, sells it in the 200s after the stock had just got cut in half, who actually thought to themselves, so I wonder what inning Tesla is in? Probably the last inning, yeah. I mean, they'll never go beyond selling about 2 million electric vehicles per year. Autonomy is never going to happen. The humanoid robots never going to happen. The energy business is not going to continue to grow. There'll never be any future products. They're not serious about AI chips. Plus, Elon Musk is a retard, a terrible leader, and therefore under his stewardship and leadership, Tesla's never going to see any meaningful growth. It's the end. It's over. The game's nearly done. No more growth from here. Do you think anyone actually attempted to figure out what inning the company was in and then determined, yeah, it's pretty much game over now? I can't imagine anybody who's able to feed and clothe themselves went through that exercise and then determined, okay, it's G, game's pretty much over now. Bottom of the ninth. Surely nobody thought that. There's a very important lesson here. Simple but important. You have no right to be investing in a company if you're not doing your best to look 10, 20 plus years into the future. Now, obviously, the further into the future, the greater the uncertainty. But if you're not at least trying, doing your best to model out the future of this company over an extremely long period of time, you are doing it wrong. Surely nobody, or even a potato, modeling Tesla more than 10 years into the future is thinking, well, a decade, 2 decades from now, obviously the majority of their business is just going to be electric vehicle sales, and not just electric vehicle sales, but electric vehicle sales at the exact same price point as today. Robotaxi will certainly not happen over that period of time. The humanoid robot certainly won't happen. There'll be no energy growth, no future products or projects. Elon was just joking when he talked about Tesla producing more AI chips than the rest of the world combined over the long term. Great time to sell.
That down and follow that. That's what I do with the company. And that's your decision. That's how you sell it.
It's so simple but profoundly important. Peter Lynch explaining that you base your decision on whether or not to sell after looking 10, 20 plus years into the future for the company, having done your best to model it out, and then deciding, okay, well, does it make sense to sell now or not? So, as the most important year in Tesla's history, 2026 begins. Just a few useful lessons and reminders. Tesla's stock is more volatile than your ex-girlfriend. That is unlikely to change for the foreseeable future. Violent moves up and down should be expected. This is why it's so critically important to do your best to model the company out over the next 10 plus years. It's impossible to know, but you have to at least make an effort. This is how you can build conviction. Perhaps you model out Tesla over the next 10 years and believe the company's cooked, it's the bottom of the ninth, and you should get the hell out of the stock. Cool. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm just telling you to think. And not just to think, but to think long term. I have some credibility on this. Some of the earliest videos I posted on this YouTube channel back in 2019 referred to Tesla in 2030. More than a decade later, in 2021, when I first published my Tesla valuation model to my Patreon members, it was a 10-year valuation model. Not 1 year, not 3 years, not 5 years, 10 fucking years. And I model out far beyond that. It's just the level of uncertainty is far too great to be sharing that with anyone. Still got to try. It's just, you have to accept there's a certain point where the uncertainty is just too ridiculous. Doesn't mean you don't try. It just means you acknowledge the uncertainty. And just a quick heads up for those who don't know, if you'd like to see my Tesla 10-year valuation model, which extends all the way out until 2035, you can join Patreon. Just click the link in the pinned comment and join at the investor level or above. Before I go, I'd like to issue a challenge. If anyone listening can provide proof, time-stamped evidence of a single person, whether it's a money manager or a content creator, doesn't matter. One, just one, who at the time they sold Tesla stock in the $200 range in 2025, had a 10-year valuation model for Tesla. If you can provide proof that somebody, despite having attempted to model out the company for 10 plus years, as Peter Lynch recommends, 10, 20 years, a single person who had done this and having done this still made the decision to sell Tesla stock in the $200 and something range in 2025. If you can provide proof, time-stamped, verifiable, I promise I will buy a share of Nikola's stock. I'm just kidding. They went bankrupt. I can't, motherfuckers. But my point is, I will say, wow, that's very surprising. Now, if I'm being honest here, I don't think a single one of you will be able to provide any such evidence because I'm extremely confident none such exists. But I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to see what the 10, 15, 20-year model of somebody who thought it made sense to sell Tesla stock in 2025 after the stock got cut in half to around 200 or so bucks per share. I'd love to see their 10-year model. The model that to them suggested that was the most logical course of action. If you can provide evidence, just shoot me a DM on X. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has been part of my daily health protocol for almost half a decade. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals and helps me fill in nutritional gaps while supporting energy, digestion, and immune function. It also has prebiotics and probiotics to promote gut health. I take my health very seriously, and so should you. Try AG1 today by visiting drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment and enjoy a free welcome kit with vitamin D3 plus K2 and AG1 travel packs. That's drinkag1.com/SMR.